Can't let you niggas trick me off the streets. I can't let you niggas trick me off the streets. I don't wanna sell you nothing, pussy nigga, talk is cheap. Can't let you niggas trick me off the streets. Can't let you niggas trick me off the streets. Hey. Can't let you niggas trick me off the street. Boy, you might be a cop, you can't cop shit up off of me. Can't let you niggas trick me off the streets. Okay, I make $750 off a P. On the phone with Mr. Krabs, so I'm busy talking cheese. I don't fuck with white, I'm eating strictly off the weed. Cause I know them folks tryna strip me off the streets. So I tighten up, had to switch my license, bro. And I know the drought coming, so I switch my prices up. I don't waste time, so I live my Brightland up. Why you niggas mad? Sammy Sosa lighten up. And that skinny bitch you with, I can tell she tryna cut. If I put a baby in a bed, them hips will widen up. You lame ass.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, All That Jazz, and we are back here today. I'm going to be interviewing former professional baseball player turned visual creator, Jamal Jaxon. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Damn, my whole name.
It's such a dope name, though. Jamal Jaxon.
Man.
Such a strong name.
What's up, man? I guess I'm Jamal Jaxon. I used to play professional baseball, minor league, not major, so I'm not rich. Just in case y'all was wondering, like, oh, he got money. No, he don't.
Don't come for the coins.
If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, of course, it's Jaxon1616, which is JAXON1616. And then the videography thing, that's also NOTJAX, which is NOT_JAX, and you can find like some of my work there.
Okay. So, what team did you play for?
A team that ain't none of y'all niggas heard of. because first of all, black girls don't watch baseball unless see exactly. Black women don't watch baseball unless it's the niggas on TV.
Okay.
So I played minor league ball, so there's so many levels in minor league ball. But I'll humor you.
Okay.
Or whatever. So the first team I played for was called the Texarkana Gunslingers.
Texarkana
Gunslingers.
Okay.
Which obviously that was in Texarkana, Texas. Mm-hmm. I played for the Coastal Kingfish, which was in Houston. Mm-hmm. I played for the White Sands Pupfish, which was in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I played for the Macon Pine Toppers, which was in Macon, Georgia. Okay,
so how many years?
And I played for the Alexandria Aces, which is in Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Pass through my city, okay?
Oh, my goodness, bro.
So how many, for all these teams you play for, like, how many years was this?
I played from 2008 until 2012.
Oh, okay, a long time. So you've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
Got some miles on you, huh?
Yeah, man. I guess so. My body will definitely agree with that statement.
Okay, and then you played college ball too, of course. So.
Actually, I went to college to play ball, but I don't know if I've ever actually told you this story, but I never actually played an inning in college.
Okay.
I went to college to play, but because of basically I just went to the wrong fucking school, and it didn't play out how I had planned. I ended up having to transfer schools, whole bunch of shit with eligibility there, so I never really got a chance to play one inning in college.
Okay.
So yeah. So
but you did make it into the minor league.
Yeah, by going to tryouts and workouts and shit like that. Yeah, my road was like very, very peculiar, to say the least. It was definitely not a straight line. It was a bunch of windy roads with a bunch of potholes and shitty streets, like on the journey to it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, so going from that, how, or basically, I guess my question would be, what made you stop playing baseball? Because eventually you stopped,
Yeah, everybody stayed. You made it sound like it was just me.
Some people stay playing for a minute, you know.
Nah, but when I was growing up, and me and my dad would like work out and just have discussions about, like what the plan was. He would always say like, when he was basically like, it's a game, you play it because it's fun. When it stops becoming fun, that's when you should stop playing. I mean, that was pretty much it. Like
it stopped being fun for you.
Yeah, and it was really abrupt. Like, I remember I was in New Mexico and I had just I had gotten released from a team, so then I had to go to a different city in New Mexico to try to get on this other team. And I got up for practice one morning, and I was on the field, and we was just like taking ground balls or whatever. And I don't know, it was just like that day, I just remember, like, it just didn't feel fun. And I mean, it's weird because like there have been times where you don't want to go to practice, or you tired today, or you just don't have it today. But this was a different feeling. Like, this was just a feeling of like, I don't think I want to do this no more. And it happened while I was on the field, and then I just kind of knew like that was going to be my last season playing.
Okay.
Like right then and there.
So did you ever, like, throughout your baseball career feel that you were kind of bound to that title, like you were seen as a professional athlete, so that's all you'll ever be good at type deal? Because I know some people, once they become like a professional athlete, that's kind of all they're looked at as, kind of like stay in your place, stay in your lane type deal. Yeah. Did you know there was more for you out there?
I mean, that's a really good question, because like I was always like growing up, like both my parents were like educators, worked in schools not their whole lives, but their adult lives. So they were always big on like sports isn't the end all be all. For you could get hurt. First of all, even if you're perfectly healthy, there's going to come a time when you just can't play anymore based off of fucking age and attrition. So even if you are the most available player because you're never hurt or injured, age is going to at some point take you out of the game. So you have to, have something to fall back on. You can't be stupid. It was no dumb jock mentality like in my house. Like, that wasn't gonna be a thing. And I knew I had like talents and other things that were outside of the sports realm. But to be honest with you, I didn't really want to be anything but a baseball player. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that I didn't like tap into the things that I might have also been like, gifted in or good at or whatever. It was just they just weren't really at the forefront of anything that I was really trying to do. Like, I made the decision at a very, very young age that being a baseball player is what I want to do, like, with my life. So like, I just devoted my entire life to that until it was over.
So what would you say, even though the sport just wasn't fun anymore for you, do you think there's like a reason or like anything in particular that made you fall out of love with baseball, or do you still love the sport just not to play it?
Yeah, I never see, this is the thing, like, I still love the game. I never felt out of love with it. And it's not even really the playing of the game that became less fun, it's the preparation.
Oh, okay.
It's like cuz people who come to the games, they just see the game. Like,
they don't see the work behind it.
Yeah, like, they don't see everything that goes into it every single day. Like, a typical off season for me was, I mean, I'd literally probably be in the gym like 3 hours a day, 6 days a week.
By choice, or this was like mandatory?
I mean, it depends on what you mean, because it's not mandatory, like, it's not mandated by someone else, but it's mandatory if you want to perform at a high level.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it takes. Like, that's the kind of work and the kind of effort that it's going to take if you're trying to continue to like play at a high level and make it to the next level and to the next level.
So minor league ball isn't kind of like, you know, like in college, you have like mandatory time that you have to work out and practice and stuff, right?
Right.
So was it kind of like that? Like you had a predetermined schedule, or?
I mean, in pro ball, you have practice,
Mm-hmm,
but
right.
nobody's going to tell you to go
You
to
need
the
to go
gym,
work on this,
or you
or-
got to go
mhm.
run, or you got to take extra swings, or you got to, you know, you got a long toss, or you got to do sprints, or you got, like, nobody's telling you that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You just do it or you don't. And if
Okay.
you don't do it and you suck, then they're going to send your ass the fuck home.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Like, you're an adult. You're a grown fucking man. Like,
Right.
Amongst other grown men. Like, you do whatever it is that you need to do personally to put you in the best position to perform when it's time for you to perform.
Okay.
Or you're going to go home. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, so it was just a preparation. Like, that shit is hard, man. Like, it's hard and it's mentally draining and it's physically draining because, like, you don't think of baseball as being, like, real taxing physically. But the one thing that baseball players have to do that no other person in sports has to do is literally, like, play every day. Like, baseball players have 162 games in their season. Basketball is 82. Hockey is 82. Football is 16. You know what I'm saying? But baseball is 162. Like, the nigga's season is like 6 months long.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, our season, like, we didn't play a full 162. We probably played close to like maybe 70 or 80 games in the summer though.
That's a lot.
Like, we would basically just get Mondays off.
Uh-huh.
And we might get a day off on like another day of the week, but typically Mondays was like our day off or whatever. We'd play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'd have a weekend series Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And then you get a day off, and then you go back. And then so some of those games, you know what I'm saying, we had to travel. We had to play. Like, say if the last game of a series was on a Thursday night, we'll play Thursday, shower, pack a bag, hop on a bus Thursday night, travel overnight, get to the hotel, get something to eat, and then get ready for BP, batting practice, and be on the field at 4 p.m. the next day, ready to go at 7.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, like, it's more sort of grind of just having to fucking do that shit and having to just perform. You still gotta, like, play well. Like, what I don't think people realize about professional shit, people don't give a fuck what you got going on in your life. As long as they see you on the field, they expect you to perform at a certain level.
Right. Now, you're single with no kids, right?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Ladies. Single with no kids, but, like, did you have teammates that had, like, whole families at home and they were constantly gone, like, stuff like that?
I can't really say whole families, because when you talking like minor league, right? You talking mostly kids like early 20s. Very rarely you might have a person on the team who's like late 20s or 30s who's still like hanging on to like the dream or whatever.
Okay.
But for the most part, I mean, a couple of guys had kids. Very rarely, I think, would any of my teammates had like wives and families and shit like that.
Okay.
But most of it was like, you know, people like right out of college. Cause like once you get to like 25, 26 in athletics, like you kind of, I ain't gonna say you old, but if you ain't made it yet, you kind of
The
old.
risk are kind of, okay.
Yeah, like the older you get, the lesser your chances are of getting like really caught up to go to the show. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah.
So, as far as your transition into what you're doing now, so you basically quit baseball. It just wasn't fun anymore. Did you plan on getting into what you're into now, or like what happened after that? Like, did you quit baseball with a plan in mind, or it was just like, you know what, I'm good on this.
No,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it was more so a figure it out kind of thing. The transition was tough. but it was tough in a different way, right? So basically, all I did was just I had temp jobs like in the off season. So I had different jobs. A couple of seasons I did. I worked at like an indoor batting cage and like taught like kids, like did camps and private lessons and stuff like that. Did that for like two winters, and then I would get like temporary gigs where I would just like work in like a call center. I worked for a lot of health insurance places or whatever, and that was fine. It wasn't really anything that I was like planning on being like a career. However, I did get a gig at Independence Blue Cross like the winter prior to my last season playing. So when I left that job, they knew I was still playing ball. When I left there and then figured out that was going to be my last summer playing, I basically hit them up and asked them if I could come back. And I was like, yeah, you can come back. Came back.
And this is you're from St. Louis, right?
Yeah, this is in Philadelphia.
But after ball, you went to Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay.
So they said I could come back. I came back as a temp. I was there for a few months, and then they hired me as like a regular like permanent like hire or whatever. I was there for 3 years. Then I got fired from there, and then I got this other gig at like a pharmacy, and they was like stealing like millions and millions of dollars, so they got shut down.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
I had to leave from there. And then I got another gig at another health insurance company, and I was there for like another 3 years. And that's when I kind of got into like the video stuff. Maybe like at the end of like my second year at that health insurance company. And it was just one of those things because I'm like, I do podcasting as well. Sex with Strangers, a grown folks podcast. Sex with Strangers podcast is our Instagram. New episodes every Monday. Check us out.
Very entertaining, by the way.
But like, I got into podcasting. That was just on a whim too. I used to work with a girl at the pharmacy. That got shut down. We became cool. We just used to like chop it up and talk about our dating woes and sexual blunders and shit like that. And she wanted to create something, so she made a pod. She asked me if I wanted to come on. I did, and I just kind of turned into like the co-host of that show.
Okay.
But so I say that to say we did that for maybe like a year. And then we decided to have a live podcast show. So when we decided...
away from strictly just audio.
Right.
Okay.
So once we decided to do a live show, we were trying to figure out how we were going to sell tickets to it. So I was like, well, shit, I'm going to just start making, like, promotional videos for that. And it started off, like, on some real goofy shit. Now, you niggas would do, like, skits. But we would parody like movie scenes or whatever. And at first it was just like real, it was just real silly. Unscripted, just basically just cooning it up on.
And you're doing this on your phone, right?
Yeah,
right.
Just you know what I'm saying, just like cooning it up on the phone or whatever, get some laughs. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, sell some tickets or whatever. And that was cool, but we ended up doing like maybe 3 or 4 like live shows. So each time it was time to do a live show and it was time to figure out how we were going to promote it, me and my homie who was my roommate at the time, I would just basically have him be my camera guy and we would just do whatever. But it got to the point where I wanted to get more intricate with it. So I would be like, I would look at a movie scene, I would like write a script out, but the script would be themed towards whatever the show was going to be about, as opposed to the actual movie scene.
Right.
And then I'd bring it to my homie. We'd go over it, and then we would go out in the field somewhere and we would shoot it. But while we were shooting, it was like I'm over here trying to memorize lines, and then he's over here trying to get like the best angle, the best location, like the best background scenery, the best like camera motions that would mimic a real movie like the best or whatever.
Y'all really putting a lot of thought into
so
it. Right?
Yeah, and it was just like really like low key turned into like a for real like production. Like even though the end product would be super silly and goofy, like we really be out there was like like putting in work.
There's a lot of work put into
you know
it,
what I'm
right?
saying? Yeah. And we just had a conversation one day, and we were like, yo, like if we had some like real equipment, we could like really like maybe do something with this or whatever. We were sitting in a car one day, and we was just like, yo, like if we really got some for real equipment, yo, like we might really be able to, we might have something, like, cause we were just thinking like the way that we be working, like we were basically like going solely off of our like creative minds or whatever, and we were still coming up with decent footage on these bum ass phones. Not saying that phone cameras are trash, but they not real.
As the quality.
Yeah, they're not real cameras or whatever. So, you know, I kind of bought into that whole idea or that whole vision, and my family helped me out with some bread. I had some insurance money because, you know what I'm saying, my grandmother, she passed away maybe like a few years prior, but I had never like touched the money. I had never done anything like with it.
So you decided to invest it.
Yeah, so because I didn't want to get no stupid shit, like no fucking, not no stupid shit, but I didn't want to just blow it on like a car.
Something meaningful,
like
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I wanted to do something where it could potentially like set me up going forward. So I was like, yo, like this is it. So I bought a camera, I bought a gimbal, I bought some lighting, and maybe some other just like some audio stuff. And then so we went out with this one camera, just filming just random shit, and came back and was just hype. And I bought like my editing program, and you know I would spend literally just hours and hours and hours on the computer, like every weekend, every night after I got home from work. Just
because you knew absolutely nothing about film and cameras, right?
All I knew was I loved movies. I knew I loved movies, and I knew that I had always been kind of creative because like I would always write stuff, and I just, the way that my mind works, I feel like I think outside of the box already, but just in a way with words. But like this was giving me an opportunity to kind of like tap into the creativity like with visuals though.
Right.
You know, so yeah, and I just watched mad fucking YouTube tutorials like on literally everything.
Self-taught.
Like on what cameras to buy, like which ones work the best for the kind of stuff that I think that I'm gonna be doing. What editing program works the best. What like all it, like the pros and the cons. Like before I really spent any money on anything, I just wanted to make sure for the life of me that I was making an intelligent purchase, you know what I'm saying, based on what it is that I wanted to do. And it just kind of took off. Like I had my one camera, my editing shit, my lights, my gimbal, and I would just, what I would do is I would just film random stuff and just like practice. I would try to make one video a week. No matter how long it was, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. And every time I would make something, I would try to learn a new effect. So I would like, and it could be the simplest thing. I remember the first time the first effect that I tried to learn was like putting on like it's called a letterbox, which is basically like when you watch shit that's like widescreen, it'd be like the black bar like on the bottom and on the top of the screen. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? So like that's like an effect that you can add or whatever. Okay. Or you can make it to where like the screen starts
make it look like it's widescreen. Yeah. Okay.
Or to make the screen will start off all black and it kind of opens like curtains.
Okay.
Slowly like that or whatever. When I tell you that shit took me like 4 hours.
Okay, so it's not just a button you push.
No. It's not a button. There's some shit you got to go in and do manually. Like, Yo, man, I used to be on that fucking sofa on that computer. Like, every time my roommate came out the room, he would see me on the sofa, like, in front of the computer.
Trying to figure something out.
It'll be fucking Saturday. He'll come out of the room. I'll be on there at, like, 10 in the morning. He'll leave. He'll come back, fucking 8 at night. Same spot. Same spot. He come out at like 2 in the morning to take a piss. So they can see me. You're still same spot, still there.
And this is kind of like fun for you. Like, I mean,
I
know. I'm sure it can get tedious because you're learning, but in a way, like, it's fun for you learning the new things. Like, you're not doing it thinking I'm gonna make mad money learning how to do this shit. Like,
fuck no. I mean, I think what it was though, like honestly, like coming from a sports background, like. The work ethic was always there. Like, that was always embedded. You know what I'm saying? And just, like, the eagerness to just... I wanted to be good. I don't want to be trash. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So that's kind of come from sports, too.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to be...
competitiveness spirit.
I'm not trying to be trash. Like, I don't never want nobody to look at my shit and be like, that shit is trash. That shit is horrible. You know what I'm saying? But some of my shit... probably was horrible, but it's like you got to start somewhere.
Right.
But that's the reason I'm going to be on this computer, because like I got to work my way out of being horrible.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was willing to do that, like whatever it took or whatever it takes still. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to put the work in and try to learn something or just do something more often and be repetitive so I could just get better at what I do every single time. And yeah, man, just YouTube. YouTube is such a... it offers such a vast amount of like knowledge, like as long as you're willing and able to go find it and go listen. And yes, it is fun for me. It's fun for me. I actually like even though the editing process is super tedious, super like meticulous, and you got to look at it over and over and over just to get something right. I just think it's dope because after I film something, like I don't even know how it's gonna end. Like I don't know how how it's gonna look. Like, so it's I get kind of hyped when I'm putting something together, and it's like you can kind of see the direction that this particular video or this particular piece is gonna go in, and it gets me hyped because I'm like, yo.
This gonna be dope.
This shit gonna be fire.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because like I be feeling like that when whenever I get like gigs and stuff. I'm always a little bit nervous because I don't never want to like fuck nobody's shit up.
Right.
I want everybody to be like pleased and happy with what I give them. But it's always a moment like in the middle of me filming it. Where I'm like, yeah, this shit about to be dope. This shit about to be fire. Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. And then I kind of like, you know, I kind of relax and start to believe in like, you know, my ability or my talent or whatever you want to call it. But it is fun. The process is fun. And I felt like from sports, you just got to fall in love with the process. Because that's the part that's really going to take you wherever it is that you're going to end up. Okay.
So you're doing this full time now, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Meaning this is your basic means of income.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to like, for all my entrepreneurs out there, because I think your story like would really inspire somebody. Like what made you decide to like really take a leap of faith and just say, you know what, I love doing this. This is something I really believe I can make a living doing. Like, I'm going to just quit my job and just take a leap of faith and do this full time.
That just sounds real stupid when you say it out loud.
The whole, I'm going to quit my job. I'm just quit my job.
Yeah, that shit sounds dumb.
And work, no, I'm going to quit my job and work for myself. Believe in myself.
But nah, honestly, man, it was just it was a couple things. Like, for one, like, work is trash. That's number one. But honestly, and I'm not even joking, like, work be trash. Unless you love your job, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't love my job. It was just a job. The gift and the curse of, I've been lucky enough to be a person who, when you were a kid and they tell you, whatever you want to do, as long as you put your mind to it, like you could do it, as long as you like work hard and all that, and just like have dreams and go after them. Like that was the life that I had lived like my whole life. Like have a dream, make a plan, and do whatever you can to execute the plan and see if the dream comes to fruition or whatever. And like even if you're not successful on the highest level, it's a great feeling to really feel like every day you're working towards a goal that you set.
Right.
Like you're not working towards a goal that somebody else set for them, and you're just one of the cogs in the machine that's helping them achieve some shit. Like playing baseball, I woke up with a purpose. Like every day I got shit to fucking do that's gonna get me better or prepare me to be the best that I can to achieve this long-term goal.
Right.
So like when you live a life like that, and then that ends, and then you go to a life of just like getting up and going to work and like going home and just eating dinner and then just doing that shit all over again.
Right.
Where there's really no end goal for real.
It can become miserable.
Like that shit is fucking dumb. Like, so it didn't feel right because it didn't have no purpose to it. There was no really long term, like it wasn't fulfilling or whatever. And so for one, I was like, man, it took me years to really find something else that I was passionate about. Even nothing, I don't think I'm going to be as passionate about anything like I was about baseball, but this is like the closest thing to that.
So this baseball still is at the top tier.
That was the love of my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the thing I loved the most for the longest or whatever. I mean, who knows what this will turn into, but like this is pretty fucking close to that.
Okay.
But it literally took me about 6 or 7 years to find
to get to this.
To find that though. Yeah. And once you get like a taste of success, like even with the podding stuff, right? Because even though it's separate, personally, I kind of lump all of those things together. Like when you start making a little bit of money off of doing something that you love, it makes you think like, holy fuck, like maybe I really can do this.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I know exactly what you mean.
Like, damn, like I just made such and such amount of dollars for.
It plants the seed.
Yeah, so it makes you have like that faith of like, yo, like if I went 10 times harder, how much more money could I possibly make off of this?
Exactly.
And then so when that seed is planted, now I'm at work feeling like I'm wasting time because I'm thinking of all these ideas and shit that I could create or things that I could just make or whatever, or things that I could study in order to get better at editing or at filming or at podcasting or just interviewing or whatever. But I'm stuck here in this fucking cube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like
taking your time, your energy, Yeah,
and it's like what I would do is I would go to work for 8 hours, then I'd go to the gym because that's still part of my day. I go to work, go to the gym. I gotta eat, I gotta shower, and I gotta chill for a little bit. And all right, then the last thing of the day I can do is get on the computer. But I'd be up until fucking 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, having to get right back up at 7 o'clock.
To be to work.
To be at work.
For someone else.
Yeah, for somebody else. To only really just have all of these ideas and shit go through my head about what I can do for the things that I'm trying to accomplish personally. But I can't really do them. I gotta sneak here and sneak there. I can't really open my laptop at work. I can't be on my phone. I can't promote. I can't. Like, it's all of this shit that I can't do because I got to do this fucking job. And I feel like I'm losing out on learning shit. I'm losing out on opportunity. I'm losing out on, like, I can't do both.
Right. Almost like you're cutting yourself short.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Literally, you're cutting yourself short.
Yeah. And I would just always be thinking like, damn, like how much better would I be if instead of only having maybe 2 hours to do this a night, I could just have all day to do this. You know what I'm saying?
It speeds up the process a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. And I was just, I mean, that was like the catalyst in me just making a decision of like, man, I don't want to work here no more. And and who's to say that I won't have to at some point go back in like the workforce, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. You know what I'm saying? But you just never know, man. I'm enjoying. It's tough because sometimes you try to stay booked, you try to stay busy and stuff like that. You try to stay working, but it's always like nothing is ever guaranteed, nothing is ever scheduled. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's like nerve-wracking every day because it's like, all right, I got some shit planned. I might have some shit planned for like the next 4 weekends, but it's like, oh shit, but like what am I gonna do when that shit is over? Right. Like,
you're constantly looking for work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that part I'm still getting used to. And I'm still
that's kind of a thing though, like in this, I feel like in the entertainment world in general, like with most jobs, like actors, singers, whatever the case may be, even on a bigger scale, like they have to do the same thing. Like they have to look for work.
That's true. Yeah, that's
true. Yeah. So another question, as far as like your age goes, like not being funny, you don't have to put your age out there or anything, but did you ever feel like, because I know me myself, now I'm younger than you, but I kind of beat myself up sometimes because I feel like I got into what it is that I want to do too late in the game. Do you ever feel like, or did you, I guess is a question, did you ever feel like you were too old to start like a new adventure or like a new career field, seeing as how like it's not like you went to school for it or anything, like you were strictly self-taught, just starting out? Like did you ever feel like I'm kind of old to be starting this and be successful from it?
Actually, not really.
Okay.
But I've never really been the type of person to. Age definitely plays a part in athletics. Right. Because some things you just physically are not able to do. But with anything else, like, like the best thing that sports did for me, honestly, is just to truly just be fearless about the shit that you're trying to do. Because sports is so fucking damn near impossible to make it. But so you gotta be crazy fearless to know the odds are so highly against you, and then say fuck it, I'ma still try. You know what I mean? And every single person who plays sports at a high level, but maybe not the highest level, like all them niggas crazy. Cause for real, cause like the odds is like 1,000,000 to 1. 1 in a million, cause and every last one of these niggas thinks that they're that 1 in a million. Yeah. But that's the kind of ridiculousness it takes to really be that 1 in a million or whatever. So like from just living that experience like firsthand, it's like this shit ain't that like anything other outside of like trying to play ball, like this shit ain't that hard. Like and that's just how I be looking at shit. Like, do I want to do that? Yeah, I do want to do it. All right, fuck it. Like, let's just try it. Let's just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
You're right.
That it fails. Okay, then I'm in the same exact position that I was in before I tried the shit. But what if it works?
Right.
Though? Like that's just kind of like the way of thinking that I'm always on. Like, yo, what if this shit worked though? Like, what if I'm like, cause I don't know. You just never know. Like, what if the one thing that I make, like, what if that shit blows up? Right. Then it's like, holy shit. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like you'll never even have that opportunity if you don't try. If you don't try. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I never even thought about, damn, I'm too old for this. Because when you say career change, I'm not even thinking in terms of career change because I was just working a fucking job I ain't even like. please change my career. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, that's what the fuck I was on, nigga.
This can't be life.
For real, man. Because that's what I was trying to say before, but I couldn't put it into words. Like, a lot of people are doing shit that they don't want to do, trying to transition into the thing that they love to do. Mm-hmm. But it's a motherfucker to go from doing the thing that you love to do, reaching the peak of like, yo, I kind of sort of achieved my dream. Mm-hmm. Now that's over. Now I gotta go do regular 9-to-5 nigga shit. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a hell of a fucking. That shit is trash. Because at least no, for real. Because at least like the people who have say like been working 9-to-5s like their entire life, and then they feel like they're using the 9-to-5 to fund or funnel into something that they are trying to pursue personally. That's now at least your 9-to-5 has like purpose because you feel like you're working towards something, a bigger life goal. But if you've already, if I say like, if somebody asks you like, yo, what do you want to do when you grow up, and you be like, oh, I want to be a professional baseball player, and they be like, oh, dope, like, well, what are you doing? Like, oh, I already did that.
Right. Okay, I get your point.
So it's like, now it's like, it's like people who are on their climb up versus I'm just a nigga just, all right, I made it to the top, so like,
I'm up, now what?
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
is there more?
Yeah, like that's a crazy feeling. It's a crazy feeling because to be like, and to have that feeling to have kind of achieved your dream at like 27, 28, and then now that's over and you got to figure now you got to like try to find another dream to pursue. Like, that's a weird.
I've never thought about it like that.
That's what most athletes go through.
Yeah.
Because like athletics ends early. It ends early. Like, and I feel like a lot of ex-athletes probably struggle with that because like for so long, like that's all that they know. That's all that they knew. That's all that some of them, that's all they know how to do. Some of them, like, they don't, because you got to go so hard to make it to a high level, you don't have no experience in nothing else. Right.
And I know personally some athletes who, once they're out of college or once they're out of the professional league, it's kind of like, okay, I guess I need a job now. What am I going to do? Right. And you'll ask them like, okay, well, what's your resume look like? And they're like, all I know is ball. Like, I know is ball, you know? Yeah. So I've seen like a lot of athletes migrate into like, you know, training, camps, stuff like that, you know, coaching, stuff like that. But you just went totally left field.
It wasn't. What's crazy is it wasn't even on purpose though, because like even when me and my homie used to make the videos like on the phone, like for the longest, like I felt like he was better with the actual camera, and I was like better with the editing, or whatever. And then he had like at the end of October, he moved to Florida. So like basically since October, it's just really been me like doing everything as far as like filming, editing, coloring,
one-man
music,
band, audio.
Yeah, audio, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool because like I feel way more comfortable now, like actually doing the filming part or whatever. And it's just, you know, you just kind of come up with your own techniques and own style and all that. And I'm still just trying to learn shit.
What's been the most, what's been the best part of the journey for you?
The best part, I don't know. I think probably just like when your work gets you introductions to people that you otherwise would have never really known. You know, because with social media, like that shit is like powerful nowadays, because like, you know, somebody could see something, like I can make something for somebody else nobody has any fucking knowledge of like who I am or what I look like. You know what I'm saying? People just see the video of maybe their friend. Mm-hmm. But if I'm the one who filmed it and edited it and put it together, and like people who have their own businesses and see somebody else's thing, like they're going to appreciate the content of the video. But I think a business-minded person is going to be thinking like, who made that for you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit looks dope. And I think whoever made that for you could probably help my business somehow. So it's kind of crazy how like, and then, you know, social media, all you got to do is like add a person's name or slide in somebody's DM or whatever. And then somebody can hit you with that you don't even know. And now it's like, now y'all might have a relationship going forward. Mm-hmm. All of that just based off of 60 or 90 seconds of footage,
right,
or whatever. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's just like I don't know, like just meeting different people, being able to like go, you know, different places, and it's just kind of cool to like have somebody really want to hire you for something that you, I guess, like specialize in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's just cool to fucking get paid off of something that involves something other than sitting at a desk.
Mm-hmm. Or like, something you love to do.
No, for real. Because I remember when I first played ball and like we got like our first check or whatever. It wasn't a whole bunch of money, but it was still just the thought of like, yo, y'all niggas is paying me for this?
Right, exactly, yeah.
Like, I would do this shit for free,
all day.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's, I think that's what's crazy. Like, that's what's crazy is like, my nigga, like me and my nigga was doing this shit for fun. Mm-hmm. Like, we was doing this shit for shits and giggles. Like, to be funny, to try to get a couple of laughs and to try to get a few likes and hopefully he was basically just trying to help me sell some tickets to a podcast show. And it just kind of turned into something.
Okay, so the name of your company is NOTJAX Productions. Tell me a little bit about, because you are Jamal Jaxon. So why is it called NOTJAX Productions? Because that's a little confusing. I'm like, wait, you're Jamal Jaxon, right?
NOTJAX Productions. Nah, it's funny because like it's really a joke. Because like I told you, it was me and my homie, who also played baseball. Okay. That's how we met. We met playing pro ball.
I didn't know that.
And basically, because he would always be my camera guy. Everybody knew that. All of our listeners, I should say, on the pod, on the Sex and Strangers pod, everybody knew who I was, and my name was Jaxon or Jax or whatever.
Oh, because you were on the podcast,
right? Mm-hmm. And that's the name that I go by on the podcast is Jaxon.
Jaxon, okay.
So everybody knew me as Jax or Jaxon, or what have you. But everybody would always ask me like, "Yo, like, who's always taking your pictures, or who's always like filming you, or like, you got a fucking like personal cameraman, you got a personal like video guy, or you know, blah blah blah." And so we was just sitting around one day, and this nigga was like, "Yeah, I'm just not Jax," and it was basically just like, he was like, "Yeah, cause you're Jax and I'm not Jax, like I'm not you." Oh,
okay.
So like,
I'm not Jax.
Yeah. Or whatever. So it would just became like an inside joke between the two of us, or whatever, where I was Jax and he was not Jax. It was like an Abbott and Costello bit. Basically. Okay. It was like, "Yo, who are you?" Like, "I'm Jax." Like, "Who is he?" "Yeah, that's not Jax." "Yeah, I know he's not Jax, but who is he?" Not Jax. So like,
okay.
You know what I mean? And then one day we was filming, and like, you know, basically how I, like when we was filming the other day, and I was just kind of like, instead of me saying action, I just say, all right, it's on you. Like, that's like my version of like saying like action.
Some nigga shit.
Or whatever, right?
I, bro,
So,
that's
like,
on you.
So like when we would film our skits or whatever, you know, he would be the one always holding the phone. So like when it was time to basically say action, you know, he'll say action, and then right before we got into whatever I was about to do, he would like whisper in the phone, "NOTJAX Productions." Or whatever. And it was lit, and it was just kind of like you know how producers like have they like what's my name, mustard on the beat, or
like their line there.
Yeah, that just became our shit. On some, and it was a joke. Okay. Like, it's a joke, but it was like, that's just kind of catchy. Like, not Jax Productions. It's kind of, because like I am Jax, but it was, I don't know. It was
stuck.
It was funny, and it stuck, and it looks good on screen. It has a nice ring to it. And you know,
it makes you ask questions
after and after just like, you know, after like throwing that name on every single video that we made, or now that I make, like, it's kind of like hopefully like catching on, like, you know what I'm saying, when niggas see that at the beginning or at the end, like, hopefully, you know, like, this shit is about to be it's gonna be some good shit,
dope shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you don't call yourself a videographer. You call yourself a visual creator.
You making me sound like I'm really full of myself, bro.
No, I'm just stating facts. I called you a videographer one day, and you were like, well,
that's so
a
funny.
visual creator, but you broke it down really, really well. So, like, explain, like, to viewers, why do you call yourself a visual creator instead of a videographer?
I mean, well, like, in short, like, I just feel like videographer is just kind of like somebody who just kind of like holds the camera. Like, just, you know what I mean, just hold the camera. Hey, record this real quick. Like,
yeah, okay, I can see.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of feel like that's like a cameraman or a videographer or whatever you want to call it. But they're only, like, when you looking at shows, like, for instance, like when we was watching the stand-up special the other day, like, them niggas, and nothing against them, but those are cameramen. They stand there, they hold the camera, they make sure that they have the subject in the middle of the frame, you know what I'm saying, follow him, you know what I'm saying, like, wherever he goes or whatever, just make sure the composition of the shot is correct. And not saying that don't take skill, because you probably got to go to school for that. They probably know way more shit than I know, but they don't necessarily have any kind of like creative control over the production itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like when a lot of people come to me, and be like, yo, I saw some shit you made, all your shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? I want you to I want to work with you. I want you to make some shit for me. I want a video. So I'm like, so my first response was like, all right, bet, cool. Like, what's your concept? Like, what's your idea? Like, what do you want? And then like that one question like stumps people. I don't know. I just want some shit that look dope like your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, cool. Thank you for like the compliment or whatever. But it's like, I don't know what you're trying to really create. I don't know what you're trying to tell people. Like, that's kind of what you got to tell me, so I can, you know, bring your vision like to life or whatever. Right. But what it ends up being is they kind of give me like a very small nugget of what they want to kind of put out there, and then I kind of have to like, I almost kind of have to put myself in their shoes as to, okay, if I was you and if I had this kind of business, what would I want it to look like? What kind of visual would I want my shit to look like if I were you? And then I have to like give those ideas, but form them in suggestion format to the person and see if they kind of like what I'm throwing out there. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like I'm really just like I'm low key like producing your whole shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
high key. High key. This is my executive producer, in case you guys didn't know.
But you know what I mean? It's just you know, and a lot of the ideas and stuff like kind of that's how they kind of come about. Mm-hmm. Where a person will, like I said, a person will just have like a general idea, and then I kind of have to like throw darts of ideas at them and see what sticks. Mm-hmm. And then we can kind of finally come up with a concept. And then once we actually film it, now I kind of gotta decide on the fly, like, okay, like what kind of angles does this need to be shot from? Mm-hmm. Does it need to be handheld? Does it need to be on the gimbal? Mm-hmm. Does it have to be, does it look better, like more smooth, more rugged, more, like what's the coloring gonna be of it? Should it be dark? Because I love dark shit. Yeah. I do.
Granted, like, your dark shit looks dope, very dope. But I do notice you like the Gotham City style.
Should it be like a darker colored thing, or should it be kind of like lighter, or should it be in regular speed? Should it be in, like, what should be in slow motion? Mm-hmm. Like, just kind of
there's so many different aspects of it.
Yeah, like all that kind of stuff.
And then the audio.
Like people don't. Yeah, like like picking certain songs or certain just like noises or sound effects. Mm-hmm. Or
you're really good at that, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Like all of that kind of stuff goes into it, and all of that shit don't got nothing to do with just sitting there and holding the camera. Mm-hmm. So like,
because you have to really know music to go and put music behind a lot of the stuff that you do, and it doesn't like. You have to be really open-minded about different types of music, different styles of music, because you do a lot of stuff for women as well. Mm. So you got to know like some of the girl shit, a couple Beyonce songs here and there. Yeah.
But I will tell you this though, like I usually do, because some people really are detailed in knowing exactly what they want, which is kind of cool, but kind of annoying, because it's like you coming to me for like the creative shit, but you kind of like turning my creativity off if you know specifically what you want. Mm-hmm. So that, I mean, it's cool because it's like it's kind of like less work for me. But then like sometimes I be feeling like, like I be thinking like I probably have a better feel of this than you. Mm-hmm. So just like kind of like let me do my thing. Yeah, but whatever. But a lot of the times though with the songs, I'll usually ask the person, like, did you have any songs particularly in mind for this? Mm-hmm. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. If they do, then I listen to the songs and see if it kind of goes with what I got going on. Sometimes it works, and then sometimes I'll have to hit people back and be like, that ain't
that ain't it, dog.
That ain't it, bro. Like just trust me on this one. Like, that's not gonna hit quite like you gonna need it to hit for this particular thing. And then I have a couple of people that I trust their knowledge of music, and I can just shoot them a text real quick and be like, yo, I need something that's like super super sensual, or yo, I need something that's like, I need some ratchet shit, or like, yo, I need like some, no, for real, like seriously,
I know who to ask for this one.
You know what I'm saying? So like I have a couple of people who I can go to, like based on like the vibe of the song that I need for a particular like video or shoot or whatever like that.
Okay.
So yeah, but I like I said, all of that shit that we just talked about, that's so much more than just like holding a camera and just like, yo, like film this for me real quick.
Right.
So that's why on my card I put like visual creation as opposed to videographer or like cinematographer, because I feel like I'm gonna put so much more into. I'm gonna put more into it than just that. Like I want to try to. I like when we just film something. Versus like when the finished product comes back, because a lot of the times when you just filming something in real time, I know for a fact that the people who I'm filming, they gotta be thinking like, man, this shit gonna come out so regular, like so because sometimes you not like sometimes you're not working with like the biggest of spaces or the most fancy of spaces,
right,
or whatever. So you just kind of like, I just know like the one of the last shoots that I did, like in the lingerie joint, like it was a nice space, but it wasn't big. You know what I mean? We had like a little bitty backdrop, and we just had to like try to get. It was just a blank ass room. It was just a blank ass room. So like, in my mind, I'm just trying to figure out, all right, how can I put this together that's gonna make. How can I make something out of nothing, basically? And we only had like an hour to film because like that was a whole shitty day. Like my bus was 2 hours late, so we had to push back the time that we had the space. But we were still late, so we really only had about like an hour or like maybe like an hour and 15 minutes to like really film everything. So we was doing everything like super super fast, and like nothing was perfect. And I honestly, I don't really have like a mission statement or like a mantra or anything like that.
Okay.
But honestly, like that's like, to me, that's kind of what Jax Productions really is. Is like taking basically like little or close to nothing and just kind of like molding it into looking like something. Because that's virtually what we were doing. We were going off of fucking bullshit ass cameras, bullshit ass locations. We don't have no kind of budget. We just going straight off of creativity. Creativity and just like having some confidence in what it is that we were doing. And I just feel like creativity will take you a long ass way. Because so many people just be doing like the same shit or whatever. And it's just like, it's like if you give me some black pants and a black shirt and some sneakers and a hat, but give it to somebody else, like, even though y'all got the same shit, y'all gonna wear it differently.
Different, right? Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I kind of feel like that's like how, kind of like making videos or film or whatever it is that you're making, like
make the best out of whatever it is you get.
Yeah. And a lot of that really is in the editing, though. And that's why that shit is so important, and that's why that shit takes so fucking long, because you could film something the exact same way, but the editing is what's gonna make it shit
make
come
or break
out
it, yeah.
trash or come out fire. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That wine got you lit, huh?
Yeah. Just a little. Sangria, you know.
Oh God.
So, I did see on your IG, Jaxon 1616. I did see on your IG there is like a short film or something that you're working on. Like, I saw just a snippet. And there was no characters or anything like that, but it was pretty long, and it had me like drawn in for a long time, like it was an introduction to a movie. So are you? Is that something you're working on, or what's that?
So it's like I know what you're talking about too. I shot that in Nashville while I was in Nashville, right? I had this idea of like wanting to. I love movies, like I was saying. Love movies. Always been a huge fan of movies and film. and I wanted to just like make something a little bit different than what I had been making, which was basically just like, Instagram highlight recap type of videos. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, you go to an event, you film some shit, edit it up, put a popular song behind it. That was just like the typical Instagram like videographer video or whatever. So I wanted to like really make something like, I don't know, like make something that was more, that hit harder than that. And just kind of like make something that I wanted to make, not necessarily make something that somebody was like booking me for or like paying me for. And I was on the way home from recording, and I was talking to my homie C, she's the creator of the Sex and Strangers pod. And she was like, why you don't like make like a short film or something like that? And I was like, I was thinking about that. That'd be dope, but I don't know any actors or whatever. And I was just kind of like saying like, it don't matter how well a movie is like shot, like the cinematography of it. If the actors are bad, like they gonna fuck it up or whatever. Or, and I was just saying like, just vice versa, like how you can have like really, really great actors, but if the shit looks super bootleg, it ain't gonna look right. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, well, since you already kind of like make videos where it's no dialogue and just music in the background, why don't you try to shoot a short film where there's no dialogue or there's very, very little dialogue, and you just try to tell the story based off of the visuals that are going on
and the music
and the music to try to like set the mood and kind of basically tell the stories with all of the other senses besides hearing or whatever, or besides hearing dialogue I should say. And I was like, yo, that's a good fucking idea. That's a great idea. Because that is kind of like the lane of kind of like how of the videos that I had been making like already or whatever. So I was just like thinking of like what could be a story that I could tell that would be, easy to get the message across on screen without there being like really much scripted words or anything like that. So it's kind of like a suspense, I guess, kind of story. It's like a revenge. Something bad happened to me, then I go through a transformation, and now I have to, get revenge on the people or the person who like basically like did me wrong or left me for dead or whatever. It's that kind of story. And I love the Joker. I'm a big fan of like the Joker.
Obviously.
So it's
he's tatted in DC characters, in case you're wondering.
So it's not a Joker film, but it's in that Joker like realm. Okay. Or whatever.
As far as like the vibe goes, and the story a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty dark. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like that has like a grungy like feel to it, but on purpose though.
It's definitely suspenseful though, because like I said, there was literally no characters in the clip that I saw, and it had to be like 2 or 3 minutes. It
was like 3 minutes.
3 minutes, of like no characters. You're just showing bits and pieces of the city, right? I guess Nashville, and like just like the things that I'm viewing, and I could kind of hear some of the things that I'm viewing, like the sound of the water running or like the train tracks and stuff like that. But you have like music tied into it, and it's like you're just drawn to it, like something's about to happen, like something's about to go down. It's like the intro to a good movie. Like when you go to a good movie, you're like, oh, this shit about to be fire. It's kind of like that, and I was just so impressed. I was like, wow. I've never watched a 3 minute long IG video.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. But no, thank you. But that was the thing though, like I was trying to, that was the tester, because I had the conversation I was just telling you about. C and I, we had just had that conversation like a day or two before I had flown to Nashville. So like the ideas and shit was like fresh in my mind. So like while I was there, I was like, yo, let me just it was like a practice, it was like a test run of like, let me see if I can get footage of basically nothing. You know, just buildings or just like random like things. And let me see if I can put it together and put some sort of music behind it that would still be kind of captivating, even though there's no people in it. No people, no dialogue, like no nothing. Like literally just, you know, just different clips or different shots of like different like just random shit. Yeah. Like just random stuff or whatever, and just kind of like try to put my spin on it to where in some weird way it still makes it intriguing or whatever. Because I had no idea how I was gonna fucking, like, what is this, a fucking Charlie Chaplin movie? Like, I had no idea how, like, how do you make a movie with no words in it and still make it interesting for, you know, anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still working on it now, but like I said, that was just kind of like the tester. And I got a lot of good feedback on it or whatever. And it was just weird, but that kind of gave me like confidence as to like, all right, this might actually work. You know what I'm saying? And that clip that you're talking about, that's probably gonna end up being my like my opening like credits or whatever. So I'll probably just use that just to, you know, name it. Ain't many people that's in it, so it'll just be like the 2 stars of it, and then it'll be my name somewhere in there for directed or produced or whatever, and then I got a couple. Every time we do go out and film, I kind of have like a very small like crew of people who like are helping me get like behind the scenes footage, or like help hold like some lights here or there, or just help like guard the equipment bag,
right?
Or be like the one time we had to film on some train tracks, and I literally just had one person there to let us know like, hey, the train's coming, like get off the tracks. All right, and I know you're kind of worried, but give me like sinister face. All right, we're good. Walk towards me. Maybe give me a little evil skip or two.
Didn't you mention something about the cops?
Yeah, the cops, yeah. We almost got arrested because they came down there and it was like, you guys waiting for a train? Because we seen you on camera down here. You filming something? And I was like, yeah, you know, we making a short film or what have you. You know, we just getting some shots. And it was like, you know, you're not supposed to be on the tracks, right? You know, and I was like, oh, nah, it's my bad. Like, sorry, man. And I was like, well, I'm going to let you slide this time, but you can't ever come back here.
Dang.
And I was like, all right.
Did y'all get all the footage you needed, though?
We did, okay. Yeah. I mean, what I've learned, really, honestly, man, it's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness.
You just can't get caught. Oh.
It's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission, though.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time somebody tells you to get the fuck out of here, at least we already got
what you needed.
What we needed. So, like, that's just kind of like the rule I be going by. Like, I know the people with me, they probably be looking at me like I'm crazy, because we done been in tunnels. Like the last couple of shoots that we've done, we've been like in this tunnel where like a few homeless people be. Sometimes it'd be like rats and like mice and shit down there.
Oh.
But in the behind the scenes, like you'll see like, you know, we gotta like get on the ground.
At the old school pose.
So from here, right? You alright?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
And then I'm gonna come on the ground, and then I'm just gonna have you to get up, so that way you don't have to get on the ground more than once. All right, so this time, same walk. I'm gonna just start with you right here, and I'm gonna follow you all the way to the corner. Walk straight. Just keep walking straight.
You trying to get footage of rats crawling and shit?
No, not that. But I'm just saying.
set the mood.
I mean, that would actually be kind of awesome. It would be kind of awesome.
Oh, a rat! Let me get it.
If we could get like a rat like crawling away in the distance, like across this, that would be fucking awesome. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
meanwhile, your people behind the scenes looking like.
But it's crazy because like I don't mind like the female actor, she had to get on the ground. Mm-hmm. But you know, just to kind of, you know, when you people hate having like a boss or whatever, a supervisor who isn't willing to do the shit that they're asking you to do. Mm-hmm. So like when she got on the ground, I was like, I'm about to be on the ground too,
right? Or
whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of get that shot right there, like get on that ground level. Mm-hmm. So we were both on the ground in rat infested streets.
All right,
you know, but it was all for the shot, man. Gotta get the shot. But nah, that shit is fun though.
Okay,
that shit is really fun. It's a my dumb ass. I thought we were gonna film this whole movie in like one day.
Oh.
Or whatever, and I was like totally wrong with that. Well, it took us like 3 hours to film. Like probably the edited version was maybe like 3 minutes.
Oh wow.
Or whatever, and it just made me do is it made me have a way more appreciation for like people who actually make like real movies. Yeah, no, because I can understand now why it maybe take years
so long to make
to make a movie. Like you know what I'm saying, not only to shoot it, but then to edit it. Like that shit is not a game. That shit takes a long time.
So when can we expect to see the full version ready?
I'd like to. I think we probably got to shoot like probably 2 more times. I'm gonna try to finish that probably by the end of this month. And try to get the editing done and I want to have like the plan is to have an actual like premiere like movie night.
Okay.
Where you know we'll get some sort of venue with like a projector and all that kind of stuff
in Philadelphia.
Okay. And we'll have like a movie premiere and have everybody who was like part of like making it. You know, kind of have like a Q&A session.
Okay.
Or whatever like that, and like you know, sell it like movie tickets, like
okay, all right,
like $10 or $12.
Get my plane ticket
like
ready. No, drive. I'll leave a week ahead.
That's the plan though. Like you know what I'm saying. So
okay.
But hopefully, not even hopefully, like we're definitely gonna do that. It's just the hopefully part is like hopefully we can finish shooting it so that I can finish editing it so that we can get those other wheels in motion to actually try to make some money off of it.
Okay. So by summer maybe?
I actually want to do it before that.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do thank you for stopping by. Coming to Atlanta. I do thank you for coming on my show.
That's fine. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Couldn't do it without you and your equipment. Literally.
That's hilarious.
So again, what's your social media?
My personal Instagram is Jaxon1616. That's Jaxon 1616. The production page is NOTJAX, which is NOT_JAX. And if you are into podcasts or if you're into having sex,
says everyone.
The name of our podcast is Sex with Strangers, a grown folks podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Anchor, all of the streaming platforms. Oh, our Instagram is Sex with Strangers Podcast. Our Twitter is the SWS Podcast. And also our YouTube, which is kind of like my YouTube now, it's one mic stand, and that's like some special other footage on there too. But it's all good footage. Everything is shot by NOTJAX Productions. You know what I mean? So go check it out, man.
Okay. And I do thank you guys for tuning in. This has been another All That Jazz episode. You can go follow me on IG, all that ALLDAT.JAZZ. Same thing on YouTube, All That Jazz, and same thing on Facebook, All That Jazz. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hope to see you guys again soon.
NOTJAX Productions.